It's not insignificant at all. There were a lot of ecumenical dialogues going on in the 20th century. I mean, Cardinal Ratzinger, who became Benedict the 16th, was involved in some of those ecumenical dialogues, and there was even talk of the Roman Church approving the Augsburg Confession, at least in some articles. And that didn't happen. And Ratzinger actually spoke out against that for some of the language. But there were a lot of Lutheran Roman Catholic dialogues throughout the 20th century. And the 20th century was really the era of the ecumenical movement. So that was definitely a large part of it. And like I said, there's always kind of been this desire on behalf of Lutherans that if there really was doctrinal agreement, there would be a desire to reunify. So the question then is, with what you're speaking about is called the Joint Declaration of the Doctrine of Justification. If you read it in articles, it'll be summarized as JDDJ.
Okay.
So that document came out of some of those dialogues, and it was specifically with the Lutheran World Federation, which is definitely in the more kind of progressive wing theologically of Lutheranism, and thus would not really accurately represent, especially confessional Lutherans like myself, who recognize the teachings of our confessions found in the Book of Concord as being correct interpretations of the Word of God. So, but even within that, there were plenty of voices speaking out against that joint declaration as well. The problem with that, and with a lot of the ecumenical dialogues in general, is that they tend to kind of speak about agreement while avoiding the real issues of disagreement, right? Like, and it's true. You know, I see Protestants who read Trent and they're like, "Oh, this talks about grace a lot," and I say, "Well, yeah, of course it does." There's kind of this caricature, right, of Roman theology that it's just this pure works righteousness, which is just not true. So, but that wasn't the point in dispute. So Luther certainly had an understanding of that Rome had a strong place for grace in the system. And I think what the Joint Declaration does, it reiterates some of those basic themes that, yes, we do have agreement on those themes, but does that mean that we really have agreement on justification? Not really, not in the heart of what were the issues in the 16th century. And so then the question really at that point is, do those issues still matter today, or do they not? And I think they do, and that's going to be my argument.